With that, I'll turn it over to Eric, who heads our emergency management, and then you're going to hear from a number of local officials. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, well, the governors give a good update on the ongoing efforts that are going on here in London and across the state with this cleanup effort. I will say there's a sense of urgency at Kentucky Emergency Management. There's no doubt. Any of you all have surveyed this damage, you know how severe it is and how badly the residents in this community need our assistance, and we're working really at a quick pace. The staff back in the office are drafting these documents to get those requests in that have been submitted for our declaration request. And yesterday alone, we sent 10 different teams out doing the damage assessments into all of the impacted areas. Meanwhile, we had other members of the team down here in this area supporting the local officials, making sure they're getting what they need. And just one day, the damages that they were able to document were well beyond what we believe is enough for the president to make a positive determination that Kentucky definitely needs this declaration in place. When you look at the disaster, you all have seen it, and it's our job to be able to tell that story. We've documented just very, very quickly in one day hundreds of homes across the Commonwealth. The public assistance is required for all of the utility repairs and all the other damages and emergency work that's gone on and just in the initial phase of this recovery. Kentucky Emergency Management's built around some principles: prepare, respond, and recover. And at this time, we're involved in all of that. We're preparing for the next disaster that we could have tonight. By operating our emergency operations center. We're staffed at a level 3, which just means that we're in person. We're ready to take those calls from those counties. We'll be monitoring this weather. We'll be notifying our local officials about things that are going on, and we're there to receive those resource requests as they come in to kind of fill in anything that they're short of, to make sure that they have what they need, if that be rescue teams or whatever be the need, water or food for their citizens. As we respond, we have responders in the field out doing the work along with these local officials. We're supporting them in their role because this is an extremely large event. So we bring in these incident management teams and we allow them to augment those local officials in a way that gives them some hands and feet to get the work done that they see that needs to be done. And we're also in this recovery phase. And that recovery phase, excuse me, is ongoing as we talk about doing the damage assessments. And those are going to continue. It's not because we're done with them. It's only because we met a number that is clearly easy for anyone to see that this disaster needs some federal assistance. And I think that's where we're at today. At the close of business yesterday, give us time to draft those documents, get the work back at the office. Ms. Roby does an excellent job at putting those documents together, and really we've leaned in hard on this one, probably more than we ever have. The governor was talking to you about how quickly we moved on this, and the urgency is because that's what's needed. Not that those other disasters didn't need that same sense of urgency, but we have exercised this program so many times, we're becoming more familiar with the process, what FEMA needs from us and what we need to get on paper so that we can properly document these disasters. So we've worked at not that this one is different than those others, all these disasters are these people's worst day. But we're figuring out disaster after disaster how we can quickly meet the needs of what the documents require, multiplying our forces going out in the field, collecting this damage. So anyway, that's the work that Kentucky Emergency Management has got going on. I just had the team back in the office today as we were down here visiting, collect some numbers, and I think it's just incredible to think that we have so many people in shelter from the last disasters. I look back and we have people in shelter. We have almost 900 people in shelter right now in this Commonwealth of Kentucky in our Commonwealth sheltering program that we run. And that can be Airbnb, that can be motel, that can also be our travel trailer mission, state parks. So many partners make that possible, but have 900 people in shelter as a state like Kentucky, I think says a lot. And FEMA does support those missions. So that's something that we do as a state-led, federally supported mission, which I believe meets those marks that you would expect us to be having. As we talk about this, I want to make sure that I share with you our phone number. This is going to reach our unmet needs group that will answer your call if you are a person in need of shelter and you're hearing this message and you're in this storm. Remember, this is storm recovery. 502-607-6665. That's 502-607-6665, and that'll get you to our unmet needs hotline. There's someone there to answer your call. They'll take your information. You'll be someone in our agency will be reaching back out to you, and they'll help you with coordinating that shelter if you're in need of shelter tonight. We've been working through, I'm just looking down my notes that they sent. We've been working with our volunteer agencies. There's over 150 organizations reached out to my agency alone asking to come to Kentucky to support or be in Kentucky and support local, state, and national agencies that are coming in. So just incredible response, and that's thanks to you all. As you all continue to spread the message across the nation of the damage that's happened here in Kentucky, we see this response, and you know, we're only humbled by the fact that people are willing to come forward. But we're not surprised at the same time. We're very humbled but not surprised, because we know that Kentuckians help Kentuckians often throughout many of these disasters. I look through our notes that I need to make sure I'm sharing with you. Disaster 4860. That open period to register is coming to an end. And as we have disaster survivors all across the Commonwealth at this point, that's that Eastern Kentucky flood that happened back in February. Just note that that registration is ending soon. Those DRCs will be closing soon. We're going to leave 3 of those open in the areas of Pikeville, Prestonsburg, and down in Hazard to meet those needs of any appeals that are going on. Disaster 4864, excuse me again, I apologize. June 25th is the last day to register currently. That may be extended due to this new disaster interfering with the operational period of that. But as I want to make sure we're sharing that, because we have disaster survivors all across the Commonwealth that'll be curious about the information, and we want to let them know we're still opening DRCs on that last disaster from back in April. Those are your disaster recovery centers where people can go to apply for assistance and get their questions answered if they have them. Just looking back over some of the things that I wanted to share with you all personally. The EOC, just to talk about these storms, we've been operational in the center for 58 of the 134 days of this year. If that starts to set an idea of how busy this storm season has been, 58 days we've had the operations center open. I've come before you all and provided this almost similar brief. We're open again, we're open again, we're open again, and we are. We're there. The staff that work for me have put in many, many long hours over this weekend, and many thanks to them. And I just want to take that opportunity to recognize those 58 days. And they have a blue sky job. Please understand, that's not their only job. They have other duties, but they set those aside to take care of the operations center for 58 of the 134 days. Just looking through our notes, this year this adds up to the 60th fatality that we've documented in these storms. And that's an incredible number for this early in the year, in my opinion. And as we continue to talk about it, and the storm relief fund that the governor operates meets those families where they need at that funeral home to make sure that there's ability to get those funerals paid for. So please remember that if you're out there and you're looking for an opportunity. But we have more funerals to pay for, so we want to make sure that we continue to talk that through. Just as we continue to work through this, I've had so much support from all of our agencies across the state. There's no way every time I stand up here I think, man, I should have forgot to mention their name. And I didn't say anything about the coroners the other day, and the governor covered it earlier, but I had that written down here. We've asked people from all across state government to come to the aid and help us document this storm. The Revenue Cabinet, they stood up an effort yesterday to just arrange a flight to document this, to help work with the local PVAs. We use a lot of resources across state government, and that's what our agency is for, is to coordinate the response to help in the recovery. And you just don't realize how many state agencies that I could thank in this effort. The Transportation Cabinet's always there to help get these roads clear so we can get these first responders in. The National Guard, we just continue to call on them. And they're volunteers, and they're in there doing their work. I've had calls from across the nation from state directors asking how they can help. And sometimes they're even surprised that Kentucky has been able to send its own resources to aid in this recovery by all those fire departments, showing up here in London, hundreds of firemen to help in this search efforts and recovery of these folks that have been impacted in this event. But those state directors across the nation stand ready to support us as well as FEMA. I will say, FEMA's here on this other disaster, the 4864, 4860 disasters, but they stand ready to support. They will do everything in their power to help us anytime they can. And I want to say that thanks to them as well, as they've helped in the EOC, just making sure that my staff at least get a short break between shifts. So many thanks to them. I've heard stories all along this, and you all have done an excellent job. I'm looking at the media and saying this and reporting how this disaster has played out, and how there's so many stories of heroism and just the work that's gone into it. And I reflect a little bit the night of that storm, and I'm in that EOC and seeing this storm unfold, and we're seeing this tornado, and the Weather Service sitting shoulder to shoulder, and from his point of view, he can see that there's a debris ball starting to come from the storm, and we determined that it was pretty likely that there was impact here in London, Somerset, both. And some of the first people I talked to on the phone were the state troopers that are in this area. I'm retired from the state. Hear them out running these neighborhoods, pulling people from these houses, and that's a real world impact that's going on, and that gives that information about what needs to be done. So many thanks to those guys, all the first responders that came in here, and the trauma that they've been through on this event. Hopefully I provided a good update about the EOC and the operations that are going on, and there's plenty of other people to provide you information, but I do appreciate your all's time today. Thank you very much.